Hi Georgetown, my name is Bailey and I'm a senior in the McDonough School of Business. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about how to choose your major when you're at college. This is often something that brings people a lot of stress, and I'm personally someone who went through the process of doubting whether I was studying the right thing for my future or studying what I was actually interested in. So after having gone through all of that over the past 4 years, I thought I could share some insights and help other people navigate through this process. So for a little bit of context, I am majoring in marketing, minoring in psychology and economics, and I'm also pursuing a certificate in foreign policy through the School of Foreign Service as a global business fellow. In regards to declaring a major, obviously there are a lot of different things that go into this decision, and I also am aware that my experience is a little more limited to the McDonough School of Business, but obviously I'm going to try and give universal advice that everyone can benefit from. So the first piece of advice I have, it's just don't stress too much. You have so much time to explore all the different academic offerings offered at college, in particular here at Georgetown. Your major is not the end all be all, and I know it's easy for me to say now that I have a job and I'm about to graduate, but genuinely looking back, like I've had so many moments where I thought I wasn't majoring in the major that an industry was looking for or anything like that. And to that I just say that your personal narrative and what you take from your academic experience at Georgetown is much more important than the word that goes on your resume. So for example, developing intellectual curiosity, the critical thinking skills, as well as technical skills are all things that you'll gain from being here at Georgetown, and doesn't necessarily have to be limited to a certain field of study. Your first 2 years should really be used for exploration. And that leads into my second piece of advice, which is really take advantage of the core curriculum here at Georgetown, whether it's the university curriculum or the core curriculum in your school. That is the best chance to find classes, departments, subjects that you're interested in that you probably wouldn't have taken otherwise if you came in kind of thinking you were going to follow a certain path. And this is true especially for the MSB, because in the McDonough School of Business you take at least one introductory class in each major area within the business school, which I found to be super helpful. And in fact, some of my favorite classes at Georgetown have ended up being humanities requirements, like liberal arts requirements, my theology requirements, and it's just been such an interesting way to develop skill sets and analyze different subject areas that are outside of what you think you're interested in when you come to college. Which also leads into my third piece of advice, is that don't be afraid of change. So your interests are definitely going to change throughout the course of your time here on the hilltop and beyond. The reality is, like, there are so many different opportunities here at Georgetown, and change is good because once you come to Georgetown, you'll be exposed to a plethora of different subjects and areas and things to discover and study that you never have been before. And so embracing that and really taking advantage of all the different options that are presented to you is going to help you narrow down what you're actually interested in spending more of your time. My fourth piece of advice is to take advantage of opportunities to kind of complement your studies. And I mean that in a way of like between majors and minors, between double majors, looking at cross-listed courses and seeing what subject areas work well together. So like I mentioned earlier, I declared my minor in psychology because of my marketing major and my minor in economics because of the global business fellowship. So there are a lot of different ways to make sure that your classes work in harmony with each other. And although maybe you can't triple major, like how can you find a minor that helps take everything that interests you and everything that you're passionate about? And my last piece of advice is definitely don't be afraid to reach out for help. One of the most useful things I did with my academic dean is map out my 4-year plan, I think around my sophomore year when I was getting ready to declare my major. So I took advantage of my year and a half after coming to college to explore everything that the MSB had to offer, that Georgetown had to offer, identified what I was really passionate about, identified what classes I thought would be useful for my future, and my dean and I sat down and mapped out how to fit everything that I'm interested in into my 4 years here on the hilltop. So I definitely would utilize your resources, talking to mentors, older students that have taken some classes or maybe changed major paths or anything like that and have insights to offer you. But ultimately, it is about personal fit. Overall, do not stress about it. Take advantage of all the resources here on campus and make sure you take your time and analyze what's best for you. Good luck picking your major. Ahoy, Saxum.